A lot of people have asked me, what's the difference between my plan and the mayor's plan on the mass transit system? I think it really comes down to three basic things: the route, the cost, and the technology. First, on the route. I believe we need to honor the people's commitment to get a mass transit system from Kapolei all the way on to Ala Moana, and if possible, to the University of Hawaii. The mayor, on the other hand, his plan is to go from Kapolei and then stop everything at Middle Street until some future unknown date we can find an unknown funding source, can continue building all the way on to Ala Moana. Second, in terms of the cost, I've made it very clear that $7 billion has got to be enough for a $5 billion mass transit system, and I will veto any more tax increases for more cost overruns for this. The mayor, on the other hand, has said he's willing to spend to no end, even if it takes us all the way to bankruptcy. I don't believe an unlimited blank check is what the community is interested in. Last and finally, the difference between us is in technology. I believe we have to look at any reasonable alternative that gets us our mass transit solution. There are a lot of alternatives out there, including perhaps putting this on rubber tires, putting this as a system at grade on the ground. But whatever technology we choose, it has to save us money. The mayor, on the other hand, is saying that the only technology he's willing to consider is elevated, heavy, steel-on-steel rail, an antiquated system that is the single most expensive technology there is out there. That doesn't make sense to me. So my plan is that if I'm fortunate to become your next mayor, what we're going to do is from day one, get in there to heart and start opening up the books. Show the people what the cost really is, what the deadlines actually are. I'm going to open this up and welcome community input to try build consensus, to find a means to achieve our mass transit objectives without bringing our community to its financial knees. Every single election eventually comes down to one single word: trust. Who do you trust to be the next mayor of the city and county of Honolulu? And your choice here in this election is between the incumbent, who drove our community into this ditch with this rail system, or our candidacy, where I correctly forecasted that this project was going to cost a lot more than the city was saying, take a lot longer, and wouldn't achieve our mass transit objectives. If you believe that we need a mass transit solution, if you believe that we cannot continue to spend to no end because the people here in our community are really struggling to make ends meet, and that the people have already done more than their fair share of putting up our tax money, but the problem has been the mismanagement at City Hall, then I ask you, take a look at my campaign. I have never voted for a tax increase, and everything that I have advocated and predicted would happen regarding this rail system has actually come true. What we need here is real leadership, and you have a very clear choice of who you should trust in this election for mayor. Trusting the guy who's been wrong on everything, or trusting the campaign that has gotten it right so far.